Hi, this is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is Conversations with God. This is part 17, waiting. So God speaks. Waiting is part of life. Uh, you can have a government who's ruling in your country that you don't agree with. Uh, it takes waiting for the next election for that to be solved. You can have desires that you want in life, and sometimes it takes waiting for you to secure those desires. You can have life and dreams that you want to achieve. Sometimes it takes many years of waiting to achieve those dreams. Uh, Waiting patiently is just a simple part of life. It's a necessary part of life. One of the key attributes of a Christian that's going to succeed is the attribute of patience. When you have true patience, you can become unbeatable. With humility and patience, you can essentially do anything. And so the process of waiting in life trains you to have patience. Uh, there's also the waiting on the Lord. You can come into my presence and wait on me and be still and silent and wait for me to talk. There's also the consideration of waiting for me to act. You can pray and bring your requests to me, but sometimes you've got to wait for the answers to prayer. So waiting is a part of the Christian experience, is part of the experience for all people. If you're going to accomplish great things in this world, if you're going to demonstrate the character of Jesus in this world, you're going to be waiting. Jesus wasn't immune to waiting. Jesus was told he wasn't to tell people that he was the Messiah or the Son of God. He had to wait to the right time to announce that he was the Messiah, and that was shortly before his death. So even Jesus, with all of his glory and all of his might, even Jesus had to wait on me and do some waiting. Matthew speaks, waiting is just a natural part of life. We're all waiting. I've waited 40 years to be a public speaker, and I'm still waiting. It's a process. It's something that I have to do. God has told me in this conversation series that I'm hidden, and He wants me all to Himself at the moment, and I've got to wait to be popular and to be discovered, and so I've got to wait on God. Waiting is something that the impatient, flashy man just can't do. Uh, uh, Simply can't do well. But you need to understand that waiting is a necessary part of life. It's one of the chief ways that God develops patience in you, and patience is a necessary component of the proper Christian experience. Patience is something that if you have with humility and a teachable spirit, makes you invincible and makes you a real threat to the enemy. Patience is something that shines brightly, and it's through the process of waiting that you develop patience. We've all been part of a line in a bank, and we've all had to wait in line to be served. And I don't know about you, but waiting in lines in banks is difficult, and it's good that we have social media and mobile phones at the moment, or cell phones at the moment, because you can look at social media while you're online in a line in the bank these days and fill up the time. Oftentimes in banks, I've used the waiting in line to talk to another one of the customers of the bank and bring my Christian witness to people. But people waiting in line show their impatience, and it's one area that people fall down and are waiting on a queue on a phone line to be answered is also something that tests your patience. Waiting in line to be answered on the phone can really test you and take you to your limits in patience. And yet it's a necessary part of life. It's a part of life that many companies put you on hold, and you can be on hold for 20 minutes or 40 minutes, and you've just got to wait patiently until your phone query is answered. It's important that you wait on God. It's important that you develop patience to wait for things of God. And I'm pleased, God, that you've made me wait for things that has developed my ability to last, and developed my patience and made me into a better person. God speaking. We don't take any pleasure in making you wait, Matthew. I don't take pleasure in you not speaking in churches. It doesn't make me happy to see you not being utilized in pulpits. You could be very effective, but the waiting develops patience, and the waiting carves out character in you. It's good that you have such an understanding of waiting. Waiting can be something laborious, can be something that's an obstacle to true Christian maturity. But waiting is something that's necessary to develop the fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit demand waiting sometimes, and you want to be a person who exercises the fruit of the Spirit in all things. And I am only too pleased to allow things to happen for you to be promoted, and for you to have your way and have things open up to you and happen at the right time. I'm not always requiring you to wait. Sometimes you get a book ready and it's published straight away. For the last 5 years, you've always had the finances available to publish your next book, and you've always been cashed up, and you've never had to wait to publish a book for the finances to come in, and that's going to continue. And so you wait in certain ways, but in certain ways, when it comes to your book publishing, you get books ready to be published, and you publish them in time, at the right time, and you don't have to be in the process of waiting for funds to come in. The funds are already there for you to publish on time. So it's handy for people to wait, and waiting is just a natural part of life. And I hope you enjoyed this teaching.